So today, what we're going to take a look at is some of the elements of the navcom and the station. We're going to start station interface. You have the loyalty point store. Loyalty points basically are missions you complete for factions. They give you loyalty points which enable you to buy specific cool gear and kit, various things, skins, whatnot. Ship insurance. Usually a pretty good idea to buy it. I have nothing worth insuring. That's reassuring, especially since I'm currently sitting in a ship. Alright, see here. Just out of curiosity. No, it won't even let me insure it over here. So a rookie ship, and I have learned this just now, is uninsurable. These things are completely... They're like the Yugo. If you remember those cars from like the 1980s, 70s, and 80s. Disposable, cheap little cars. You have your industry tab, which opens up any industry that might be in the area that you have. Industry is kind of an interesting thing. It's one of the things that you can study to go into. You get blueprints, and these blueprints enable you to build things. Like if you wanted to build a ship, you would take that blueprint, you would drop it into here. It would give you a list then of items like trilithium, various other ores that produce minerals to make this particular item. It then has a number of runs. If it's a original blueprint copy, it has unlimited runs. If it's a copy of an original, it usually has a specific number of things it can produce before you have to buy another one. So it's always better to have an original, but original blueprints tend to cost a lot of money, or you have to go after them yourself, which can cost also a lot of money because you usually need ships capable of going to get them. They're usually in pretty hard to get places. So there's various options: material efficiency, time efficiency, copying, invention, and reaction. Various things that you can do within the industry tab. These are the facilities available. Apparently I can build things here. It does actually have a functioning. It's obviously lit up. So I could build something, but I have no blueprints. Otherwise I'd show you. And that's basically that. You go through, you drop it in, it gives you a time frame. It's usually going to take, well, it depends on what it is. For instance, in order to produce 500,000 rounds of EMP pulse ammunition, which is electromagnetic ammunition, would be about 8 actual days for it to produce that many. And then, of course, there's fees associated, and you got to pay the fees for it, plus the material costs, unless you mine it yourself. So we're going to cover some mining here in a little bit. Fitting window. We started to cover this the other day when everything went haywire. It wouldn't let me resize the window. And it should let me resize the window. Okay, made the browser. These are various hull fits. So like say we had a destroyer, or actually we'll start with frigate. We're Galante. So we had a Tristan. And this is electrical tier for an anomaly. So let's take a look at this one. This is the fitting for that particular ship. I clicked it, it popped it in. Didn't actually change the ship, it just gave me a blueprint specification for things I would want to get a ship just like this one. So this one has 250mm light scout artillery guns. Shield, booster, stasis web of fire, and a micro warp drive. This basically you fire at another ship and it slows down its velocity. It makes it go slower. It's really quite annoying, especially if you're trying to get away. There are ways to get past these, however. And this is a micro-warp drive. Micro-warp drives are faster than afterburners. They also use more power in the CPU. And in some places you can't use them. For instance, I believe they're nullified by the things called warp bubbles, or warp stasis bubble. Basically, they collapse your warp field. Hardware. This is where you pick the hardware to go into your fit. Exit the simulation, so that goes back to what I actually have. Now it'll generate a list of various things I can put on it. Like propulsion. We were talking about propulsion upgrades, inertial stabilizers. These things help align your ship faster. Overdrives help you go faster in hyperspace, I believe. Click on the information button. I might have got that backwards with the hypervelocity. There we go. So this reduces your capacity of your cargo by 15%, but increases the overall velocity by 10%, and that is sub-warp speed. So in other words, if you were going to go 10% faster, you'd put that on your ship, and it would enable you to move quicker. And then there are warp injectors somewhere around here. Yeah, warp accelerators. Hypervelocity, hyperspatial accelerators. Basically, they increase your speed in hyperspace. If you want to personalize your ship, you can get skins for it. You usually have to buy these, but it makes the ship look like that. This is just a preview. Yeah, I'm experiencing a little bit of lag here. Alright, and that's that window. Fitting. This is the regional market. Anything you want to buy on the regional market, you can. Has everything from ammunition to trade goods. Trade goods would be things like if you wanted to buy something to build a ship, or if you wanted to build ammunition, or any other number of construction goods. These are actual structures, like citadels. There are two types of structures. You have NPC stations and then player-owned stations or structures. In order to get those, basically you purchase them and then you have to have a corporation. This corporation establishes these structures and then you become eligible to be attacked by other groups. But before that, they can't attack you. So if you had a corporation but it didn't have any deployed structures, they couldn't attack you or declare war on you. Down here we have a ticker of the cost of current goods. An Orca, which is an industrial command ship, looks like it's going for 1.7 billion, which is ridiculous. I remember when they were 300 million. And various other modules and skills, and some of these skills can get ridiculously expensive. But we're going to have to get into here more. This is an entire series right there just in the market, because there's actually a thing called market PvP, and it gets really complicated. This does have a reprocessing plant, so if we were to go, or if we had some scrap that we got from a salvage wreck we found or we created in space, we would be able to take that, we would bring it back to the station, and then we could reprocess it into minerals. And you can improve that by getting various skills and whatnot. As a repair shop, click on this, basically tells me my ship's not damaged. I bet you. I haven't done anything, haven't been shot. Yeah, 0. And that'll cost, well, sometimes upwards of 50% of your ship, depending upon how damaged you are. However, if you're in some corporations or in some alliances, some will pay for your damage and repair costs. So you just dock up and you click repair and it'll repair it. You don't have to pay for it out of your own pocket. Not always the case though, so don't always rely upon it. Keep in mind that repair costs are something you're going to have to try and take into consideration. Clone Bay. Clones, yes, right. You can have clones. Basically, you can put a clone in one station, and then you can jump to another station where you have another clone. So say, for instance, I'm going to open up the map and probably completely blow your mind here, so hang on for a second. The map is a little confusing. That's just the local area map. Everything is in the local area. It's highlighted here. But just to give you some perspective, this is the home station we're currently in. It's located in this system here. Each one of these dots is a system. Now, let's zoom out and take a look at just how big this is. It's quite huge. And if we hold down shift, we can rotate that so we can get a different perspective. We hold the right mouse, we can move it up and down, right and left to try and center it. So basically right now we're in one of the core systems, and there's a lot going on here. Yeah. So here we are. If we wanted, we could create another clone. We could put it in a station in this system. And then if I didn't want to actually leave the system, I could just jump clones to here. But I believe there's a 24-hour cooldown period or a 12-hour cooldown period. I haven't done it in a long time, so I'm not 100% on that. But I know that you can create them. In order to do that, you need to learn things like, I believe it's biology or one of those skills. We can cover that a little bit later. But this is the map. And if you wanted to set like directions or ways to get to, say, you want to go to this system, you just right click and you can set your route. Add it to the way out. Actually, the waypoints come after you set. So if I was to set this, it gives me a 3-jump route to get there. However, notice if I want to come back here, it's gone. That's because you can only add a waypoint. So you click that. So what happens is if I leave, it'll jump out, we'll go here to this system, and then it'll want me to go automatically back to here. So if I ran my autopilot, which people don't recommend you do, that's what would happen. You would go there, it would turn around, it would come back. And earlier, if you recall, when we were creating the character and what the character looked like, we have character customization. Now, I clicked on that, not available on every station, but that is a green screen background. I have enabled that in my options. Let me show you where that's at. I think it was in my options, displays. Yeah. Enable green screen portrait background. Which means basically I can use this character in whatever I wanted to. Let's disable that. And return to the game. And I have my background back. But once again, once we're in this, we can go through and we can change things that we don't like. Like, if I wanted to change my hair color, I could change it to white. Take a second for it to catch up. That's the roots, actually, but yeah. So let's go with white here, black roots. That's kind of skunkish. Yeah, let's just go back to where we were. And then you modify whatever you want. If you wanted to, say we got, for instance, one of the things I got in one of my daily login requests, or login, not requests, but rewards, was a hat. If I wanted to put that hat on, I could probably go into here, probably try to find outerwear, top, and one of these. Oh, headwear. So where is my hat? Oh, I don't have it. It's currently sitting in my inventory. Yeah, anyway, when we're done with this, we click there. And then we get to choose a pose. Yeah, everybody thinks that's an attractive one. No. That'll work. And that'll be updated up here in the character sheet. So that's basically what's over here on the top. These are basically the options that are available within the station that you're in. Down here we have the number of guests current in the station. These are them. The number of agents that are in the station. An agent is basically like an NPC that gives quests or is part of a quest line or has some kind of a task for you to perform. You can rent offices. There are no offices available in this station, but you pay, I believe it's per month, and you can purchase an office for a corporation, and your corporation will be based out of that station, and then every month you get billed for that. If you go into your wallet and you take a look at automatic pay, you can set up payment for jump gates, which we don't currently have any because we're in high sec. But if you're going to jump gates, you can automatically okay the payment up to whatever, so that you can go through the gate. Because a corporation can purchase its own private jump gates, and then when you're authorized to use them, you have to pay because there's fuel in those gates that need to be replenished, and that helps go toward the cost of maintaining the gate, and if it gets destroyed, it's incredibly expensive. But basically, that's a maintenance cost. Now, you can also do things like automatic pay for your corporation's office. You can set that all up in this window here for automatic pay. If you want to, you can feel free to give ISK. And go back to your main menu. Okay, so here's our undock, and this is our hangars. Currently we have these hangars here, which are the ships and the items. This is what's in my item hanger. Here's that hat I was looking. Oh, that's why. Apparently the hat I got was a woman's hat. So we have biology, which we can right click in our inventory, and we want to train right now to level 1. And destroyer. So let's interesting. Apparently we must be just training destroyer already. Plus we have skins for these ships, which in order to get those to work, you right click on these, and there's usually the option to, another way to look at them is over here. destroyer skin. Did they change the language? Open destroyer skin? Yes, they did. They changed it a little bit. It used to be activate, but they changed it to open the container. Alright, and in here, probably do the same thing. Open skin. And then that one appeared. Now in order to activate these licenses, refresh this. You can see it's located... Oh, these are only 180-day skins. Basically, you can get a temporary skin, like this is a free one they gave you for 180 days is how long this is going to last. In 180 days, so let's activate these licenses. Actually, let's wait until we have a catalyst. Or an Icarus. And we can come back to that. This is a destroyer. Open the destroyer. This is all new. Actually, they never used to have these in boxes before. So open containers. Now if we take a look at our container, it popped up in our ship bay. One destroyer. This is the catalyst. Now you notice there's a 1 by it, which means it's not assemble. That's because we have to right click it. We have to assemble the ship. Now it will appear in our ship hangar. Or about 1 destroyer. Make it active. Oh, I don't have destroyer yet. I thought I had trained that. Oh, right there. Let's see what we got going on in my skills. Currently training Biology 1, which is going to be a 13-minute training. No, I don't have Galante Destroyer yet. So what I'm going to have to do at some point here is pick up Galante Destroyer so that I can actually fly the catalyst. If you want to know what the catalyst looks like, remember the ship tree. Well, that's a pretty nice destroyer. Logos and the catalyst. You want to take a look at it up close. And that's what that is. It's the Catalyst Destroyer. Not a bad little ship, actually. It's the preferred ganking ship, which is players who decide they want to blow you up will purchase these ships for basically next to nothing. Outfit them with high output guns. They will lock you in a belt, tie you down, blow you up. Then Concord comes, blows them up. Another person from their group shows up, picks up all the loot, and warps away. Basically, it's called ganking, and you do not want to be ganked. And hopefully I can try and show you how not to do that. So that's a catalyst. So we covered basically everything over here on the right in general. You can do searches for specific items within your item inventory. By doing that, you can use a list view, which is what I usually prefer. Show the ships you have available. Alright. This is all fun and well. How about I show you a little bit about mining? I think I can do some mining today. So let's undock. We've gone off the rails. We're not following the tutorial. We're rebels. character sheet. Okay, this ship is currently right there. That one's 14k away. Usually coming out of a dock, I like to establish a safe warp. In other words, you basically come out like we just did, and you turn on your afterburner. And then you let that fly off into space in a straight line, because this is where you're coming out of usually. Until you get to a spot, and then you can bookmark that once you get there. Hold down the button, plus bookmark. It'll save a location. But we're not far enough away. And we want to do some mining. So let's see if we can find any asteroids. There are 4 asteroids belts in this particular system. Let's go to asteroid belt 3. We'll warp to 0.
Warp drive active.
In case you're wondering what I did, I just right-clicked in space, opened up the menu, picked the system that I wanted to go to, and then right-clicked again to choose the warp to or warp to 0. There is a possibility. Oh, actually, they do have rocks. Cool. Alright, so what I did here, general targets mining. This has all of the rocks that are in this particular belt. Is that a... no, that's the station. That is our home station. It is labeled in blue. We will go to mining by clicking the mining tab right there. And take a look at what we got going on here. We have various types of ores. Make it a little bigger. We have concentrated feldspar, scordite, dense feldspar, condensed, probably scordite right here. I like to mine the dense feldspar because usually it has pretty good reprocessing rate. You can turn it into minerals that sells it better. So we right click that and approach. I did. Found it here. Right clicked. Click approach. Now we are flying towards this rock. We want to take a look at the rock. That's it right there. And we are over here somewhere. Right there. Close enough we might be able to get a lock on it. In order to lock a target, you hold down the control key and you click. That locks it. Now this is a civilian miner. This is a civilian Gatling gun. Do not shoot the rock. You want to mine it, but will only work within 10 kilometers. And you see we were now inside 10 kilometers. And I've activated the laser. Let's minimize this down a bit. Hit stop. Alright. This is what you don't want to do. You do not want to sit in a belt. That's part of the route that I picked up earlier. Remember when I set that route? This is the route. It would take me from this gate to that gate to that gate. It shows the system jump gate progression in the sky, which I always thought was kind of a cool little thing. But anyway, we do not want to sit in a belt like this. The reason being, say that somebody lands in the belt and we need to get away. Well, what would happen if we were to hit this rock? Will we explode? Let's find out. We're gonna die! Oh no. The ship kind of navigates around it. Hit stop. We're outside of that belt. Now we gotta find our general tab. We're going to locate the yellow. Actually, we're not going to do that because that's not where we want to go. That will be a jump gate. The round Stargate, part of the route we were on. We don't want to jump there in case there's something going on. We're doing some mining, so we right-click the station we came from, in this case our home station. We click select or set destination, and then if we click it, it aligns us to it. Notice we're now on the other side of this rock. If we click align to, we're currently on this, so it will align us to that station. We hit stop again. Now, the reason why we did this, we're currently full. Our hold has filled up. Oh no, we're mostly full. Got a little more space left. We're mining that rock. We're lined out. So if somebody was to, when we first landed in here, we landed on this spot, which is usually marked by the right here. Right there. That's where you land when you first arrive. So if something was to pop in here, we are over here. Let's make this a little easier to see, maybe. There we go. So that's 30 kilometers out. We're on the other side of the asteroids, aligned toward our target. Unless they have a specific bookmark in that belt right next to or close to where we are, they won't land on us. They have to warp in, land on that zero spot right here, and then they'll have to fly to us or get within range of their guns in order to lock us down. But since we see them landing, they're obviously going to have us target or try to target us. Or if they start approaching us and acting in a strange way, the safest thing to do is be pre-aligned like so, and dock. It decreases the amount of time it takes for your ship to get to warp speed, as opposed to having to turn, align, and warp out. These blue ships are police. Concord, the ships that will come and blow you up.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
And maybe I can show you some reprocessing, because you have a couple of options. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is open up our inventory. It's over here on the left, in this box, marked inventory, or it's Alt-C. And then we click on our ship. It's a little wider, tap a little shorter. Alright. But here's our ship. This is the amount of Veldspar we have. The estimated amount of the value is 14,000. We take this, we hold it, drag all the way to the item inventory, our item hanger, and then we can see we have dense Veldspar. Now, say for instance, we don't want to sell all of this. We want to reprocess some of it. Let's take the Veldspar, hold down the shift key, drag it down, let go. And that will divide the stack. So let's say I wanted to sell 500. So this is the 500 I wanted to sell. You take it, you right click, go to sell item, This is an immediate offering. Basically, this is a person on the market who has placed a buy order and they have given you basically the absolute rock bottom price. They're willing to purchase your ore at minus 15% below the market value. And for the purposes of, yes, we need money, we're just going to sell that. Yes, you are. Yes, we are. And it has been sold, and we now have 3,700. But wait, that wasn't the amount we were told. That's right. Because if you take a look in your wallet, you have market transactions. Right? That's not the right amount. What's going on here? We're getting ripped off. I can get my... There we go. And the reason is there's market transaction tax. So yes, you are taxed, and you can decrease these taxes by getting specific skills in trade, marketing, things of that nature. Like processing, which I'm about to show you. In the item hanger again, we have dense feldspar. We right click on the feldspar. At this time we want to reprocess it. Our skill in biology just finished training. So, this is the reprocessing window. And it looks like we would be able to sell this amount, turn it into these minerals, which is tritanium, and we should be able to make a decent amount. So let's reprocess this. It seems to me that there used to be a waste indicator, but they must have done away with it. So we reprocess it, takes out a fee, we close this, and now in our inventory, since we couldn't actually get rid of all of it because you only have to have a specific amount in your inventory for it to process it, it was unable to process 50 of it. You could just take that and sell it. Yes, don't ask us again. Thank you very much. Yeah, we made 374. Now this tritanium, we could use this to build whatever, or we could turn around and sell it. And according to this, we should make another 4 grand minus 353.41 ISK for sales tax. That's 8%. That's kind of a high sales tax. And they're buying this at 33% below market. Let me briefly, before we sell this, let's see if we can find the market. Click market. Okay, and then we type, actually we don't even have to type it, we can just, I believe, drag it, drop it. Nope, won't let me do that. Should have done that. Oh, wait. Yeah, knew I could do that. There's tritanium. We click tritanium, it gives us who's listing tritanium in the market. And yes, this is all very, very confusing. Excuse me. So, what we're looking here is we currently have this being sold in station by another person. These are the buy orders I told you about, and this is the person who wants to buy it from you. Currently the one 33% below. So we can go to other systems and we can sell it at a higher price. If you wanted to place it on the market, you could compete against this person. In order to do that, you just right click. We want to sell the item. We don't want to sell it right away. We want to do it for 3 months. And according to the market values, person in station is selling for 4.31. So if we put it in for 4.0, 6% above. And we click sell. You just placed a market order, or a market order, and this order is for 4 ISK per unit, which will give us additional income as opposed to the 33% undermark that we got later. Now we just gotta wait for somebody to come along and buy it, and there's always a possibility that they won't. Now, I think you got a pretty good idea of some of the fundamental stuff going on here in the station as far as the basic station function. These are all game functions. We won't cover that today. Let's see what we got going on here. We injected a skill, biology, and it's already done training, level 1. So we look at biology, show the info on biology, required for science, increases your booster duration, so if you were to use drugs it would increase the duration by 20%. And there are 5 levels of every skill. This only go up to 3 because we're an alpha account. And these are the skills that we've learned already. I've already gone through and arranged these skills so that we'd have all of our drone skills, so that we don't have to worry about having just one drone in space. Because if you only have drone level 1, you can only put 1 drone in space. Always better to have more, so get the drone up to level 5 as fast as you can. That way you can put 5 drones in space. Helps with your defense, helps with your mining. Always a good place to go. Alright. So we're going to do that, and then we will check with you later.